Everything is connected. I'm sure most of us have heard those words at some point, but what do those words actually mean? Like, I know everything is connected, but no one really explains how that is connected. Well, hopefully by the end of this video, you'll have some sort of understanding of how the body is connected. And one of the ways that we're going to focus on that today is strictly by looking at the different roles of the muscles. Now I'm going to talk about 5 different roles that the muscles can play, and they are always interchanging depending on what type of movement it is that you're doing. And those are agonists, synergists, fixators, neutralizers, and antagonists. Let's go. To make things a little easier, I'm going to use a muscle that we're all familiar with when it comes to explaining the different roles of these things, and that'll be your biceps here. So first, we're going to talk about the role of an agonist, and the agonist is the muscle that is directly involved in the movement of a joint. And you can think of these as the main character in the movie, book, etc. And that's why sometimes we use protagonists instead of agonists. So these are the prime movers of the joint. And so when we think about the biceps here, we know biceps to do this curling motion here, or flexion of the elbow. And in fact, you can kind of see the biceps moving there. However, there's actually a muscle underneath that. The muscle that you see right now is the biceps brachii. There's actually a muscle underneath known as the brachialis, and that is the agonist when it comes to this flexion of the elbow here. Now we're going to talk about synergists. And synergists are muscles that are indirectly involved in the movement of a joint, and they're often helping the agonist or the protagonist or the prime mover get the job done, but they are not the main one involved. So if you want to think about a movie, we can take Harry Potter for example. Harry would be the prime mover, the agonist, protagonist, whatever. Ron and Hermione would be the synergist because they are helping him accomplish what needs to be accomplished. Same thing goes with the biceps in here. Now going back into that muscle that we see, that is your biceps brachii, that superficial muscle there. And that is the muscle that is a synergist to the brachialis. Now we're going to talk about fixators, and your fixators are usually the stabilizing muscles, and they help prevent unwanted movement from the protagonist's origin. So what does that actually mean? Well, your muscles have a point of origin and a point of insertion, and for the biceps, the point of origin is actually in the shoulder here. I'll get a little more specific about origins and insertions in like later videos, but for now we'll keep it simple. This means that anytime I wanted to flex my elbow, if I didn't have a fixator in place, then this would happen every time I go to flex my elbow. And those would be your middle traps and your rhomboids. So you basically have the middle traps and the rhomboids engaging to keep that shoulder joint from going forward every time you flex the elbow. So that's like, I'm sure there were moments, I don't remember the movie exactly, but like there were moments where Harry was like acting out of pocket and he needed people to like hold him back. I don't know why I'm sticking with this reference, but it's not working. Hopefully it's working. Next up, we have our neutralizers, and these pretty much act in the same way as the fixators in the sense that they help prevent unwanted movement. However, the neutralizers, instead of like stopping another joint from moving, they help stop another action from the muscle. So what exactly does that mean? If we go back to our synergist, which is the biceps brachii, they have another movement in there known as supination of the forearm. And what supination means is basically taking your forearm from here and going like that. A good way to think about that is if you're holding soup, you have a better chance of holding it like this, which is supination, instead of like this, because you definitely ain't holding soup like that. I don't even know why you don't just grab a bowl, but that's an easy trick to help remember that. So basically when you go to flex your elbow here, your arm is automatically going to supinate, but you need a neutralizer, which is going to be your pronator teres here, and that is going to help cancel that movement so that you can do this motion here. So if you wanted to, I don't know, get your thriller on, you would use your neutralizer. In this sense, what would be the pronator teres to help you achieve that. Lastly, we have the antagonists, and this, again, just like any movie plot, is pretty much the anti of the protagonist. So they oppose the movement of a joint by doing the opposite action of the protagonist. Now, I think another one, sticking with that movie reference, We all know Voldemort was definitely the antagonist to Harry Potter. How this works for the muscle is that if I am flexing that elbow, I am contracting the biceps here, right? And then you see the triceps, which is going to be the antagonist that is stretching to help that happen. And then if I wanted to extend the elbow, I am engaging the triceps, and then the bicep stretches out. Hopefully this helps explain how you can have some injury in one part of the body and then it can travel to other areas of the body. If anything is unclear or you guys have any questions, please be sure to leave a comment and let me know. Other than that, please like, share, subscribe, follow, all of that good stuff, and check y'all next time.